As a journalist turned tech founder, here are the stories that stopped my scrolling this week and reading between the lines what they mean for you. Hundreds of people in LA are being paid to strap cameras to themselves and record what they're doing. It's not because they're content creators. This Silicon Valley startup called InstaWork is paying people $40 an hour to record themselves doing chores like washing dishes or folding laundry and doing odd jobs like delivering for DoorDash or handing out hats at Dodger Stadium. InstaWork is using that video data to train robots on how to do those tasks. This realm is called physical AI. And it's where an autonomous system like a robot needs to understand the physical environment in order to do the task that we want it to do. And at Dauntless, we deal with physical AI all the time because we build for smart glasses and other spatial headsets. So we're used to encountering this problem, but I found this whole situation a little bit funny because this is a problem we have created for ourselves because we insist on this humanoid robot form factor. Because we have decided that our world was designed for humans, so the easiest way to introduce robotics is to have a robot that looks like a person. We now have to go through all of these steps to train that humanoid robot to do something that we would consider fairly simple, like retrieving laundry and folding it. Apparently, this is easier than the other route where we would completely redesign what laundry facilities look like to optimize for an autonomous folding system. So let me know, would you let a company record you doing dishes for $40 an hour? Most people's experience with AI is through this chatbot interface. You type a question, it gives you an answer. Agentic AI or AI agents are different. Nvidia announced that they are planning to launch an open source AI agent platform. According to a new report, the platform is codenamed NemoClaw. The shout out to OpenClaw and Moat, which we have covered somewhat extensively here. I saw it as Nvidia kind of rebranding themselves from the company that sells GPUs into the company that provides the core infrastructure of the AI agent era. And if you think I'm being dramatic, just hear me out. With AI agents, you don't just ask them for information. You can give them a task or a job. So, for example, go pull last month's sales data, compare it to this month's data, update the CRM, and then email the team with the highlights. An agent can plan that all out, go talk to all the different tools that it needs to talk to, and then actually do the work in the background while you're off doing something else. And I think Nvidia did this, and they did this now because they want their platform to be like the structural steel skeleton that makes this kind of agent easier to build, and not just easier for everyday users, but easier for entrepreneurs to build into products and easier for enterprise to build into their software. They included the little detail that this is open source, so it's not locked into the NVIDIA hardware. For non-technical founders, this is great news because this is leverage. You won't need to go build your own agentic AI framework from scratch. You'll be able to stitch together workflows in plain English or whichever language you speak. The competitive advantage moat won't be owning the AI tech. It will be knowing your chosen domain well enough to design profitable workflows that the agent can run for you. And this is actually already happening. I have seen AI agent enabled ad companies do this with Meta Business Suite, whether they're allowed to or not. It's already happening. Speaking of NVIDIA, my co-founder at Dauntless and myself will be at NVIDIA's big developer conference this week. And if you want to hear about everything that we learn out on the floor at the booth, attending all of the keynotes, just subscribe here because we will be posting updates every day. This next story reminds me of a business idea we pitched that went absolutely nowhere. Don't worry. Their story has a happier ending. We wanted to work with cruise ship companies and tourism boards to 3D scan monuments at various tourist destinations, so like Chichen Itza or the Sphinx. And we wanted to take that scan and put it in VR. So travelers who couldn't make the trek to go see these monuments could still experience them in VR, very lifelike, while they were on their trip. No dice for us, but on a more successful note, thanks to 3D scanning and the public domain, you can now see and download hundreds of historical pieces of art from the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Met, without ever leaving your house. Now, nothing beats seeing a Van Gogh or the Temple of Dender in real life, but the research grade 3D scans that they compiled do actually provide you with more context, textures, and realism than just a 2D image. Other museums, including the Art Institute of Chicago, the National Gallery of Art, and the Cleveland Museum of Art, are also contributing to this initiative. When I was looking at these, though, I did find the scan resolutions were not quite at the detail level that I would expect. That being said, I have seen these pieces in real life, so I know what I'm missing out on. This scanning technology is not just for museums. You can actually take a scan of your kid's artwork at home and turn it into a 3D model. It's free and you just need your phone. And if you want to try it out, comment down below and I'll let you know how. And then we have Claude can make interactive data visualizations now. This is stuff like animated timelines, moving diagrams, clickable decision trees. And this is great because it lowers the barrier so anyone with the right prompt can create engaging infographics. But here's the thing you will quickly discover coming from someone who does data visualization for a living. Just because it is interactive does not make it more useful. With the tidal wave of data visualization capabilities that we are on the cusp of, the next thing you have to figure out is how to best design that interaction to communicate the knowledge and information or media that you want to communicate. There's actually an entire field of science dedicated to studying how humans learn, how we absorb knowledge and retain information. And then most importantly, they also study how to effectively test to see if that methodology is effective. It's called learning science, and we had Dr. Sara Smith, who is a PhD researcher in that field, on the podcast. And she specifically researches how extended reality, so augmented, mixed, and virtual reality, help or hinder learners in different scenarios. Learning science has been around for a long time. This isn't exactly new, but most people have never heard of it. With all of these new ways of presenting information becoming hyper accessible, the findings from all of this learning science research and how learning is designed will be more important than ever. So if part of your job is effectively communicating information, data, knowledge, expertise, be sure to check out our interview with Dr. Smith. Unsurprisingly, she is fantastic at breaking down complex concepts and communicating them effectively. Next up, this 25-year-old started renting out her clothes after moving to New York City, and I think it's genius. This is Rent the Runway meets Poshmark. Since moving to New York City in 2023, Gabriela Levison has done 700 rentals with pieces in her closet, and she now earns up to $2,000 a month. This headline caught my attention because, one, I didn't know Reuters covered these kinds of stories. I'm actually so happy that they do. And two, these are the exact founder stories that we look for at Dauntless Studios to build out into full applications and platforms. And from a business perspective, I love this setup because copying and scaling her concept is really hard to do. It's a competitive advantage moat. And the reason it's so hard is because this business model is actually a massive logistics play. Yes, the product is fashion, but the actual business is reserving the pieces, shipping them, getting the returns, cleaning, relisting them, and doing that over and over again. It's really hard to do when it's just one person, and it's even harder to solve for at scale. If you're a founder with an idea like this, I will leave a link to Dauntless Studios below so you can fill out a little form and tell us about what you want to build and then book a call. My name's Elliott. I'm the CEO and co-founder over at Dauntless XR. And if you found this news breakdown helpful, let me know by liking and subscribing to our newsletter. It's over on LinkedIn. And of course, you can always subscribe here too. And with that, I'll see you next time.